From the Keith Vincent Carroll Studios in Paterson, New Jersey, Green Hour Media proudly presents Is This Real? Tonight, Creatures of the Deep, whether real or not. And now your host, JC3.
Welcome, everybody, to another fantastic episode of Is This Real?
Is this real?
Tonight's episode, we are talking about creatures of the deep, whether it be real, mysterious, or just some shit that landed up on this the shore. You know what I mean? So in tonight's booth, we have Big Joe. Say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody, for the third time.
They don't know that. We have Mr. West. Mr. West is in the building. Mr. West, say hello to everybody.
Konnichiwa.
We have Tony the dealer. Tony.
How's it hanging?
And I'm JC3, as everybody says. All right, so who wants to start off this episode tonight? Anthony, you want to start off?
Yes.
As usual, you know, you've been that way since you came. That's fine.
I like to do what I like to do. I like to do what I like
All right,
to
so
do.
what do you have for us?
So here's what
Spit, Junior.
here's what catches me off guard. There have been sharks missing. Does anyone else understand how fucking frightening that idea is?
A shark?
Sharks that are missing. I'm talking like great white sharks. Sharks
Like
don't.
hammerheads too?
I'm sure there's a couple in there, but I've found a couple of great whites that have gone missing.
Great whites.
Great whites.
That have gone missing.
Great white sharks. I mean,
big.
sharks in general haven't evolved since the dinosaurs. They're like the perfect hunting machine, right?
No.
What's better than a shark, Eric?
You ever seen Predator?
Yeah,
Real life, Eric.
You don't know that shit is out there?
on Earth, in the oceans,
Show me a predator, Eric.
on Earth, in the oceans, the shark is the king. It's the reason why that we have Shark Week. You know, it's an entire week devoted to that animal. Now, I follow a guy on TikTok. His name is Shark Wahlberg. And before anyone asks, he's not a shark swimming around with a jacket and a backwards
Come on, guys,
hat.
get out of my way.
I'm the biggest animal in the ocean, guys.
I might attack
Wow.
a killer whale.
Wow.
We'll get to killer whales in a second, but hold on. So I'm going to show you guys a
So wait,
video.
what's this guy's name?
Shark Wahlberg.
Shark Wahlberg.
He tracks
Okay.
sharks, and he's
He
noticed
created a
that
tuna shop with his brothers. All
he's
tunas.
created his TikTok, and he's found that some sharks that he's tracked has gone missing. Now, great white sharks just don't fucking go missing.
Well, we track.
Well,
Great
I mean,
whites,
they
right?
are great white. They can do what the fuck they want.
Well, hold on,
true.
but we track sharks.
We do. We track sharks. We catch them. We put a tracking device on them. We release them back into the ocean so we can understand their migration patterns and
And that's how we can tell, like, stay the fuck away from the water. There's a path of a shark coming.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
stuff like that.
Like in the in the 70s, Dad, there was like a Jaws-like instance in Jersey. I think it was was it the 70s or the 40s?
Damn it.
I have no idea. I know that when Jaws came out in, what was it, 74 or 75, whatever, you know, people were finding sharks everywhere. They'd go to bed at night, the shark would be in the bed. Some people called 911 because the shark was coming through the drain
Hold
when
on.
they were taking a bath. You know how it gets.
Eric, Dad has always said this one joke.
And it's brilliant.
It is brilliant. Whenever there's a shark attack that happens on like you hear it in the news, right? A shark attacked somebody at the Jersey Shore this weekend. Dad goes, of fucking course, you find sharks at the Jersey Shore in water. Now, if someone got attacked by a shark while it was walking down walking its pet down the street, then I'd be surprised.
Yeah, there is no mystery to this. I mean, mystery that they've gone missing, I can understand that, but you know.
You imagine a big old great white just walking on his two fins?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fucked up. It's just.
How's it hanging? Big old jaws and shit. How's it hanging?
And the best was like that. I was like, shark attack in the ocean. That would, yeah. If the shark attacked someone at the 7-Eleven, I'd be worried.
That's exactly it.
Shark robbed 7-Eleven.
Shark knocks off liquor store. That's newsworthy.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'll definitely read that article.
All right, so I was curious. Like, all right, so sharks going missing.
So this
that's
guy
pretty,
tracks sharks?
He tracks sharks. Now I'm gonna switch over to transition, show you guys a map of the world.
Oh yes, it's like
Sharks. Everything in the red is where the sharks kind of like migrate, where they hang out. And they tend to hang out near the coastlines of major countries. Both sides of the United States, the coastlines are full of great white sharks. Hawaii, surrounding Hawaii, the west side of South America, all throughout the Mediterranean, the west.
Yeah, literally.
What about Australia?
You look at the
Yes.
Mediterranean and Australia.
just
Besides the
red.
north part, is basically red.
Yep.
The Mediterranean is all red.
All red.
It's warm water, I would imagine.
Yep.
That's probably
Here's the weird, like, all about around Japan, full of,
Except for like most part, like you're not gonna get Russia,
no.
obviously.
But here's
top.
the weird thing: there's no red lines. If this map is accurate, there's no red lines around India, and I think it's because sharks don't like curry.
Oh my god.
It's too spicy for them. Not their thing.
That's not the weirdest part. The weirdest part
That's not the weirdest part.
is it's not around the east coast of South America, like at all.
No,
like
that's true.
the furthest north is like literally towards the tip,
Yeah.
and then it's nowhere in basically the middle west coast of
That water
Africa.
must be cold as fuck.
But if you look at it, like
It's
if
around
you
the
if
equator,
you
it's
took
the Amazon.
if you took South America and Africa, where they're supposed to be connected right there,
Yeah.
those two parts of where they're supposed to be connected,
Nothing.
no sharks.
No sharks.
At all.
Yeah, like sharks
That
don't.
would make sense.
And the other thing is, there's not a lot of red marks that are just like random, like in the middle of the
And
ocean.
none in Mexico.
No, they're down here. This is all Mexico. That makes sense. But there's no sharks just
Oh, that is
spots
Mexico, sorry.
in the middle of the ocean. Like they tend to like breed and populate near the coast of countries. So, if this map is accurate, which I tend to believe it is, there's a lot of sharks fucking with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, maybe. I mean,
Well, by the
maybe. I mean, has anybody done any research on the sharks as far do they like shallow water? Because maybe it's easier for them to get food.
Well,
in
yeah.
shallow
I mean,
water,
they go where the food is.
right
But
in the deeper ocean.
here's the crazy shit. So, if you Google in the Mary Lee shark, she was found. Well, we pinged her, right? We kept pinging her and whatever. We tracked her, and she was tracked for a long time. And I'm on. It's a website called OSearch. Well, it's more like OSearch. It's a OCEARCH. They took the word search and the word ocean. They combined it into one word that's hard to pronounce because it makes sense. But basically, it's where you can track sharks and shit.
Wait, what?
It's a where you can track sharks. So
she has her own certified Twitter page.
she does. She's an adult shark. She was
She can
16,
do whatever she wants.
She was 16 foot long. They tagged her.
Man.
They tagged her September 17th, 2012 in Cape Cod. Her last known location was June 15th, 2017. This bitch has not been seen for 5 years. Now, what if she died, right? It's like, okay, what's the big deal? She just went missing or she died. But the tracker should still be able to be pinged. And that's the weird part for me is it's not pinging anymore.
What if something ate her?
What's the name of this shark?
Mary
Lee.
Lee.
Mary Lee.
Yes.
Hmm.
So, like, she just stopped being pinged. Her last ping was June 17th at about 4 in the afternoon off the coast of New York. And if you look at her track record, she tends to be all around the the east coast of the United States. And all of a sudden, she just disappears. You would think, like, around, like, maybe 2 weeks, like the beginning of July of 2017, they'd be like, hey, we haven't heard from Mary, let's ping her. And then be like, oh, she hasn't moved from this spot in like a week. She's probably dead.
Yeah, something like that, though. I mean, I could attribute to maybe these things got involved in a fight with something else, and maybe something.
What is she
killed
fighting,
it.
though?
Well, I mean,
Well, it's not-
don't
it's
they
not
fight
even-
other sharks?
Yeah, but I would sit there. The pinger would still be working though.
Well, not if it was damaged, right? I mean, what if a shark got chewed on her or ate her? But then again, you got to question what the hell is so big that it could eat that shark.
She's a 13 foot long?
16 foot.
16 foot
that's
long shark.
big, but it's weird.
Here's
What-
another weird
could've
one.
ran out of battery?
She's 16 foot long and 3,400 pounds.
That's a big bitch.
That is like 8 of me.
That's a big bitch. She's swimming through the ocean like, I'm swimming here. I'm
Yeah.
a big bitch.
Like that is.
That's a school bus swimming through the ocean.
the
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. I wouldn't
her,
want to fuck with that.
There's a guy that
I'll take it.
Fisher. He turned around and said maybe.
Do you think I can fight it?
He goes, the batteries on her tag likely ran out. She's been tagged 5.5 years now.
Okay.
So she's been gone for 5.5 years.
Yes.
Now, has there been any instances of these things?
Popping up on somewhere else?
Yeah, like missing for 2 years and all of a sudden show up again.
Well, from what I've been researching, what happens is when it dives to a certain position, the tag will disappear.
Okay.
but as they resurface, the signal kicks back on. So okay, if the tag went dead, that's one explanation. I'm okay with that. Explain this one, right? 2014, massive shark probably ate a missing great white. So this is from a filmmaker, Dave Riggs. He has team tagged a 9-foot female shark off of Australia's coast, and then the fucking thing went missing.
Crikey.
The tacker track turned up, recorded the animal's position, depth of the water, and the ambient water temperature as if nothing happened, and they found it 2.5 miles from where the large female was first tagged, but they just found the tag.
Like no skin attached or anything like
They
that?
just, that's all it says.
It's just a tag floating?
Now, when they tag it,
That's
how
fucked up.
how are they tagging it? Is it like like you would do a bird or something like that? Would they put it through the fin?
That's a good question.
You know,
let me quickly Google
Because
that.
that would
I mean, if I'm going to guess it, they're going to put it inside their body so they can't, like, knock it off or anything like that.
I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's
It says that tag should be inserted into the muscle of the
Yeah.
back near the first dorsal fin at an angle towards the head of the fish. So, like the fin at the top, that's where they're sticking it
In the
into
muscle.
it. Into
So
the
is
muscle.
there always a chance that it can come out, though? I mean, obviously, if they found one, but you know,
Attached with no skin.
Yeah, and also these tags are relatively small. What's kind of like once you jam it in there, it should just be good to stay. And you figure the insertion hole will cover itself up over time.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, but don't they keep growing until they like die?
it just scares the shit
I
out
think,
of me
I
because
think these are a fully grown adults. I don't think they keep growing. I mean, they could gain weight.
you
I
have
don't
a-
think.
you have a shark this big. I mean,
Yeah.
what in something say
But
something
they not
fucking
like,
with
aren't
it.
they like
Like
giant
four-
goldfish that like
Yeah.
just keep growing? and
No, they're
growing
not like
until,
giant goldfish,
until,
Eric.
until they just like
No.
big.
No,
No.
no.
We now find the world's largest carp.
If that's the case, some sharks, especially ones that are 200 years old,
Yeah,
would
but
ever
exactly,
be-
that's what I'm saying.
they
You
would
don't-
be
you don't-
like 40, 50 foot long,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
we would see a lot of them.
Not if they're that old
now.
and they just die underwater, and you know
You would find fossils.
You
then.
would find fossils here, but here's
maybe.
here's a good one. Are you ready for this one?
You-
There's a shark out there. Her name is Survivor. Oh, sorry, his name is Survivor. If I'm reading this article right.
He's a survivor.
I said I'm.
Oh,
Oh dear God, stop it. Okay, so Survivor. No, it's a female. 2013 in Mexico, they found this shark named Survivor with a huge bite mark on it.
like
Now-
as big as the shark.
Well, it's taking up like most of its top half of its body. Now they're saying that this could be a mating ritual
What?
that bite like bigger sharks will bite on female sharks to like establish dominance or something like that. But she's a pretty big bitch herself.
Yeah.
So the question is, if she's that big and that mark is that big, what the fuck bit her?
Yeah, that's kind of scary to me because, you know, we're not finding these creatures that are that big. I mean, I'm sure, you know, I know they have, like in some museums, they have the jaws. You know, you could fit like a car in them or something like that.
Well, that goes to something that used to swim around the ocean. It's called the megalodon.
Yeah, I don't see many, you know, those things popping up anywhere, you know.
No, the megalodon is thought, and I say it like this because we don't know for sure. They are thought to be extinct. The megalodons were a species of shark that were stupid, insane, huge.
Talking about the sharks that the kind of sizes that Eric would be talking about, or you know, as they keep on growing, like they're like 40, 50 foot long sharks that weigh 10
See,
tons.
I'm
you know
starting
what I
to
mean?
really wonder, like you just said, Anthony. We don't know, but I mean, it's kind of like, you know, the Loch Ness monster. You know, you have some people that swear they've seen it. You have some videos that they say it's it. We just don't know. Now, is the ocean that deep in certain places where
Well,
these
when
things?
you've only discovered 15% of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, you know,
Like-
maybe the
What
habitat
is
down
it,
there.
Why is it the statistic going up every 5% every other episode?
Yeah, so
Isn't
it's
it like
strange.
5% the other day?
No,
We know more about the moon than we know about the ocean. That
Yeah.
that's something that
well,
most
as Cito
scientists
said in the
agree on.
in the beginning episode of this season, NASA did start as a ocean
Yeah.
They definitely
exploring.
found something down there that they didn't like.
And they stopped that real quick
They
and decided to
definitely
go
found
up.
something that they didn't like.
So from oceanservice.noaa.gov, there's an article they wrote that about how much of the ocean have we explored, and they said more than 80% of our ocean is unmapped, unobserved, and unexplored.
There you go. So we don't.
We
we're-
know.
Just went up to
dick.
20%.
Yeah, we
So
don't
it's
know
gone up
shit.
to 20%. Yo, inflation is killing us right now,
We don't know
Fuck.
jack shit about the
No,
ocean
we don't.
at this
But
point.
we do know, based off of fossil records, that megalodons would reach anywhere between 60 to 70 foot and weigh about 70 tons.
70 tons, not
Wow.
10 tons. Excuse me.
That's not exactly easy to hide either. You know.
That's
No,
a lot.
it's
That's
not.
but if you think about it too, if that thing is still alive, like how the hell is it still? How is it still alive? Like
And
what is
what
it
the
eating?
fuck is it
What is
real-
it eating?
Like
Yeah.
70 tons.
Is it real?
70 tons is like a crane. It's the size of like
It is
a
the weight of a crane.
locomotive. You know what I mean? Like these are like
It's like 4 of me and 2 of Anthony put
So,
together.
so you're telling me that instead of a school bus coming at me, I have to imagine a giant locomotive just come just in the
At
like-
full speed
I can't fight that, bro.
in the
Yeah.
water,
no, you could ride it, but that's about it.
and you have to swim. Swim. I can't swim. All right.
Yeah. So there are some animals
That are missing.
that are missing.
So as we as we talk about creatures of the deep, we don't even know what the fuck these creatures are that we're talking about.
No, we don't. And
That
mind you,
are eating great white sharks or taking chunk-sized bites out of them.
and mind
I
you,
know what it is.
Mind you, hold on, real quick. Finding these great white sharks missing is not exactly new. From August 20th, 1988, LA Times Archives, from Reuters, saying that in St. Clements, England, a 17-foot great white shark washed up on the beach. 17-foot shark. We don't know what it died of, but it just washed up on the beach. The crazy part is if that map of the shark's territory is true, then they shouldn't even be near England. It's too cold for them. So what the fuck is it doing there?
Yeah.
Well, do they have, and we'll look at this and then we'll quickly go to break. But do they have a map of what was it, 1988?
I mean,
You would think. Do you think they would have a map like that?
I don't think like sharks' territories.
Was that even like a discoverable thing back in 1988?
I don't think
Like
so.
to see how the tracker works or something.
No, like were they tracking sharks back in 1988 like we are now?
I think they were tracking sharks, but not to the extent.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
you had. Don't forget, back in the 80s, we were more worried with the space shuttle. All our efforts were going to that. Now, that's not to say colleges and stuff didn't do that. They might have. I have no whether they did or not. But as a country, we were worried.
You know the
about,
CIA funded that shit.
We were trying to get everything, with the space shuttle. And then we had the Challenger disaster. So
We had a
sharks were like,
we had a 13.3 1,400-pound adult male great white pinged off of the Jersey Shore back in 2021.
Okay.
See, that's why my feet don't go in the fucking
Okay,
ocean.
hold on. All right, so Mr. West, I'm gonna leave it up to you, and then we're gonna go to a break. What did this to these sharks?
Gyarados.
Gyarados. All right. Well, I don't know what to say for that. We're gonna be right back. We'll talk about mysterious mythological creatures when we get back.
It is real.
We'll be right back.
If you like this video today, please click the like and subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification icon to keep up with all our videos.
And welcome back to our Creatures of the Deep Sea as we continue our Space and Seas season. That's a hard thing to get out real quick. So we just talked about things taking.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Exactly. We just talked about things taking, bites out of big sharks. So we don't know what are taking the bites out of the big sharks, right? We don't know what the hell.
No, I mean, I think
we don't even have any guesses in the booth.
No, we really don't.
We're all on the same page. It's like that's pretty fucked up.
I mean,
So we don't know.
There's a conspiracy saying that the megalodon is hiding in the Marianas Trench, but
We explored that in the first episode.
that was our season opener, and we didn't see anything about that.
If anybody does have anything out there, you know,
please tell us.
drop us a line here, on our show notes
On our
and
TikTok. We have a lot of
TikTok,
people commenting on TikTok. Please let us know.
Yes.
So
What are your opinions?
do you think it's real? What we're gonna do now is we're gonna not talk about the real and more talk about the mythological.
It's like, is this real? No.
Well, I mean, who knows? It could be. I mean, you have a lot of stories.
That's true.
Again, these are ancient stories that are passed down from person to person to person. You have a lot of people writing about these monsters.
And we do know that myth and legend starts somewhere. So
Exactly.
Somebody saw some shit
So,
somewhere.
I'm gonna fuck someone up in the middle with my logic. Go ahead.
What I'm gonna start off with is I'm gonna say it. Hopefully, I say it correctly. It's Norse mythology. The Jormungandr.
Yarmungandr.
Yarmungandr. And guys, I guarantee you don't know how to hell to spell that.
No,
It starts off with a J.
that's it.
Jormungandr. So the
J-U-Q
Jormungand. It's not even.
7.
Look how they're pronouncing it. It's not even with an R. It's Jormungand.
Okay.
So the Jormungand is a great beast in Old Norse, also called the Midgard serpent. It's a snake or a dragon who lives in the ocean that surrounds Midgard, the visible world. So enormous he is that his body forms a circle around the entirety of Midgard. He is one of the 3 children of Loki and the giantess Angunboda, along with Hel and Fenrir.
Fenrir, yes.
So if you like Marvel,
If you like Norse mythology,
this is Thor's nephew,
yes.
technically.
I guess
Dad's
so.
shaking his head. He's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, I mean, we just like we're at the rails here with that one. But go ahead.
No, this is actually Norse mythology.
I understand that.
Thor, Asgard, all that's kind of like the Greek, not like, but you have the opposite
So
of the
this
Greek
is
mythology.
so this segment is. It could have been. It might be.
well,
It's not.
It's
But it most likely is bullshit.
well, you have to think about what this came from.
Do you know? You're gonna just. I'll shit on the bed. You want me to shit the bed? I'm gonna shit it right now.
I don't care what you
Do it,
shit
Amber
in.
Heard.
Oh.
My God.
And silence has struck in the ground.
Do you know how most?
I wasn't ready for that.
Do you know how most of these legends of the sea, when it comes to monsters, even spawns from?
No.
No, please tell me with your
Insects.
college education.
It's not insects.
Oh, I was close.
He said incest.
No. he
No,
said-
I said insects.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Pervert.
When like the tales of like there was a beast out in sea. It was snake like. It was so big. It was curled around all those tales that spawned.
No,
all
I know
of
what you're
these-
gonna say. I
Yeah.
know what you're gonna say. Stop it. Stop it. You stop it right now.
They all come from
No.
the same source.
Watch. What would that sort of thing?
Stop. Oh my God.
Whale cock.
Okay.
When a whale. No, I'm being serious. No. You mute my mic. I'm being serious.
Yeah, I fucking muted your
Raise
mic.
the mic up. Raise the mic up because Eric knew where I was going.
No.
When a whale. No, I'm being
Because
serious.
You talked about this before, and you scarred all of us, and you scarred all. How the fuck
When
did y'all forget
when
about
a
that?
whale comes up and it's on its back and its dick's hanging out and it's got an erection, it looks like a monster. Now I'm not going to start putting up pictures of whale cock on our podcast.
I've had that problem.
What?
Please don't do that.
We're not putting up whale cock.
Dad's at the beach like, there it is, the kraken. No, it's the truth though. A lot of like, it's okay. Just imagine
This is for everybody saying to themselves, "Hey, yo."
Just imagine you're standing on the beach and you look out and all of a sudden this gigantic snake-like creature emerges from the ocean. You're like, what the fuck? What the fuck is that thing? Jesus Christ, it's looking
I
at
didn't
me.
know who Jesus Christ was back then.
And then it just goes beneath the ocean. And you go home and you look at your friend Bill and you're like, Bill, I saw this giant fucking snake thing. And he says, you're out of your fucking mind. No one else in town sees that shit except you. You know what it was? It was a dick letting it. It was a fucking dick. It was a whale just letting his shit hang out. That's how legends are made. Whale cock.
Anywho.
And when they blow a load, you wonder why the ocean's so fucking salty.
I hate you.
Any fucking who.
Roadblock. I know. You had something within you that said
hold on.
I shall not be there tonight.
Hold on. I just got a message. ESP from Roadblock. He goes, I don't want to be a part of this podcast anymore.
He knew.
It's from the original Germanic tribes.
Yeah, let's get back to this thing.
Yeah. How can you smoothly transition?
Because, I've lived 27 years now with just him gnawing at my ears. I've lived.
22 really. You started consciousness around 5.
He killed me. Almost tried to kill me. So
At 5?
no, later before that. Anywho, we're gonna get to our next one, which is the Kraken. Everyone knows what the Kraken is.
It's a giant squid.
Oh, sorry. That's the whale penis. Let me get this off the screen.
Can you get the whale penis off the screen, Anthony?
You really put that up there?
Look at Tell me.
I'm not gonna look at it.
Look at this and
Anthony,
tell me it's not a monster.
Anthony, this will be your last fucking episode.
What's the
Kraken. Kraken is the next. Before I start cracking your fucking skull.
Okay, this is the Kraken.
The Kraken. Another off the coast of Norway. Sailor superstitions, mythos. The Kraken is a giant sea serpent that, giant octopus actually, is supposed to take down these.
Fuck.
As you saw in.
Y'all seen Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah. Everyone's seen Pirates. We know what the Kraken is.
So the Kraken basically is just
The giant squid.
it's just mythological. It's nothing.
Well, it's a giant squid.
It's a giant squid or
So-
a giant octopus.
So, we have found giant Is it octopi?
Octopussies?
Is that an actual is octopussies a thing?
Giant animals.
We have found giant squid-like creatures in the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as what they're saying it's 40, 50 meters in length, or 40, 50 feet in length. That's a big fucking squid.
Squid. I've seen them. Giant squid. I've seen pictures of it.
Yes.
So, could this be? And again, in a time of this 19th century, so it's 1800s.
No. Before that, you're talking the 1670s. You're talking about when this was like piracy ruled the Caribbean type of shit. That's like the 1630s, 1640s.
1700 basically. is what it's
1700s,
saying.
yes.
So you're saying where these ships aren't as big as ships as we have today. They're pretty big fucking ships, but they're not as big as we have today. Number one.
Yeah.
And a giant squid like the ones we found could be this mysterious monster that these things like, holy shit, that's a big fucking squid.
Yep.
It's the Kraken. It's something like that.
In zoology, there is a term for this. It's called deep sea gigantism. And they think that there is a connection between how low an animal is living and the size it can potentially grow to.
Okay.
They think that the lower temperature is a factor, that food scarcity, which we would think the opposite, like if it's not eating, it's not growing, right? But food scarcity could be a factor. Reduced predators because of the pressure. Not a lot of things are hunting, so it has time to grow as big as it wants because nothing's keeping it at a certain size. Or increased dissolved oxygen. Like, we know that millions of years ago, we had fucking bugs the size of, like, Volkswagens walked around because the oxygen was different.
I don't know why that sounds funny.
So now,
It's
like,
true, but it's
if
funny.
this is dissolved oxygen
Giant
levels...
beetles, actually, like the size of beetles.
They're saying that a 1999 study said that some crustaceans found that the maximum potential size directly correlates with the increased dissolved oxygen levels of deeper waters. So it just fucking managed
It's
to.
just real spitting facts out here.
It just managed to like I don't need that much water. I don't need that much oxygen, or it's dissolved, and it was able to
I'm just gonna get fucking big.
evolve itself anyway.
We get
To,
fucking big.
where that wasn't even a factor.
In the terms we use today, it got swole.
It did get swole. Big fucking things living at
Big
the bottom of the
fucking
oceans.
things.
Well, I do know there's one giant crab off the coast of Japan. This thing can grow up to his legs can be 12.
That's a lot of crab meat.
Can be like 12 feet
I like to see-
wide, and the pinchers, I mean, they're like a foot and a half high. They
I'd
can
like
cut
to
your
see
head
that
off.
fucking thing at a buffet.
Yeah, so would I.
Smothered in butter.
It was crazy.
You
when
would
I
need
saw
a
it.
pound of butter for that motherfucker.
Well, they say a lot of them come up,
Sounds
not,
like your
not,
sex
not,
stories.
not up to 12 feet, but a lot of them are 6 foot 7 feet and trolling nets off the southern coast of Japan, and they have to throw them back because they migrate to different parts of the ocean over there, so they give it a technical name. I forgot what
Now,
it
when you
was.
say the 6 foot, 7 foot, we're not talking about you're talking about like the length of their arms.
Yeah.
You're not talking about like it's not like they're not pulling up corgis or
No, the body-
German Shepherd
no,
sized lobsters.
No, they're large crabs, but these friggin', I mean,
It's like they're long and skinny.
Yeah,
Versus like brolic.
it's very, very frightening.
Like the
these
pig from
things.
Family Guy. Oink.
You know,
Yeah,
so-
kind of. Like that's a big difference. Like, is
And
if
they've
you're
been
pulling
known
up a lobster like the size of a German Shepherd, that's something you put that fucking thing in a museum.
Yeah.
You don't eat that fucking
you
thing.
eat that thing first. What you
No,
talking
no.
about?
You name him Larry, and he goes on tour, and you make a lot of money. And this is off of Japan.
Wins first prize.
Japan, you say?
Yeah.
Well, they got Godzilla. There's all sorts of shit down there in the deep.
Well, you know the Japanese, they eat anything. So
Yeah, they do. They really do. It's not.
We love you, Japan.
We love you, Japan. It's not racist to say that. I've seen the videos. They don't give a fuck. If it had an air in its lungs, it's gonna be lunch.
Yes.
I saw one. They had little hermit crabs this big. She's eating them like fucking popcorn. They're still pinching, like they're still alive. And she's like, salt,
Yeah,
yummy. I'm
I
like,
can't
that's
understand some
fucking
of that.
nuts to me.
All right, so we're gonna go to the next mythological creature, if you will. This one brings a little of our past season, Anthony. We're talking about the Leviathan. The Leviathan, as Anthony would say, if you go to a TikTok, he has some videos talking about these books, is a sea serpent noted in theology and mythology. It is referenced in several books
I
of
thought
the
it was a
Hebrew
giant
Bible.
fish.
No.
It's a giant, like, dragon
serpent. It looks like
sea
a,
serpent
It looks
snake
like
thing.
a dragon, basically,
It's
in
the
the, ocean.
devil.
In Hebrew Bibles, including Psalms, the book of Job, the book of Isaiah, and the book of Amos, and apparently the book of Jonah also. It is also mentioned in the book of Enoch.
Yes, it is. I forget which passage. But
It's often the embodiment of chaos and threatening to eat the damned after their life. So, again,
is it like only relegated to the sea, or like, sun died in the middle of the Sahara and like the Leviathan showed up?
no, it's mostly talked about as a sea.
Yeah.
The word later came to be used as a term for great whale and for sea monsters in general. So
Yeah, I mean,
Leviathan.
well, don't forget, like, it's not.
That's
ju-
more of a theology monster.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't forget also. I mean, it's not just whale penises that they saw. Like, if you were stranded on a boat with nothing before you were surviving, like, someone who is like severely dehydrated or really hungry can look over the side of a boat and see all sorts of fucked up things that their mind's playing tricks. And I'm like, I saw it, and like no one believes them. Like if they were
Scurvy was
rescued,
one hell of a disease, bro.
exactly. Like shit like that will fuck up your perception of like everything.
All right, so the next one we have is
No, just whale cock.
Skila, or Shyla. What did we say?
I don't fucking know.
Shyla and Charybdis. It's Greek.
Fucking hooked on phonics. You want to sponsor us?
It's that's not my problem. I don't know how to speak Greek. Okay. If anyone wants to, again, change it for us,
Buy him a coffee.
thank you. Anywho, they're Greek. They're noted by Homer. Greek mythology cited them on opposite sides of the Strait of Messina between Sicily and Calabria.
Here we go, Joey. I got you. Ready?
Okay.
Hold on. It's playing now.
Okay. Dead air.
Hold
Dead
on.
air. Dead air.
You're looking at how to pronounce the name of these two immortal and irresistible monsters from Greek mythology. We're going to be looking at how to pronounce more names from Greek mythology as well. But how do you go about pronouncing these two? Scylla and Charybdis.
Charybdis. So I was close.
Okay.
The second one.
Are we gonna brush off the fact that he was very monotone and had a very big heart on for these two monsters?
Anywho, but between the Charybdis and Scylla is an idiom deriving from Greek mythology, which has been associated with the proverbial advice to choose the lesser of two evils. Several other idioms, such as on the horns of a dilemma, between the devil and the deep blue sea, and between a rock and a hard place, express similar meanings.
Yes, that's it's essentially what it is. It's the mythological creature version of I'm fucked either way.
Yes. So again, this is just some things we know about the deep sea, or mythologically speaking.
Well, when you think about that's like if you're stranded in the ocean, you're fucked either way. Mm-hmm. You either stay on your boat and you float till you die, or you jump in the drink and you drown. It's
or
between a rock and a hard, or get eaten. I don't know. I think I'd rather just quietly pass on the boat than it become lunch. But that's just me.
Nah, fucking, I'm going out fighting.
You okay?
All right, the next one.
It's the fucking ocean. What are you fighting?
Well, just think about it. If I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna
This
go out.
motherfucker's jumping off the boat knuckles first.
I'm just saying. So the next one we all know, I believe everyone knows, is sirens.
A what?
Sirens.
And we're not
Sirens are fucking creepy.
We're not talking about.
Woo, 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 woo. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, not them.
Sirens are basically mythological creatures, human-like beings with alluring voices. They appear in a scene in Odyssey in which Odysseus saves his crew's lives. Roman poets placed them on some small islands called Serenium Scopoli. In some later rationalized traditions, the literal geography of the flowery island is fixed sometimes on Cape Pellorum, and at others is the islands known as Syrenes and Paestum. I don't know where the hell any of these places are.
I don't know what the fuck you just said.
I'll be honest with you, I was not here for any of that.
Are we gonna put subtitles on this video? Jesus Christ!
This is what I'm reading. All right, this is not my problem.
Basically, they're mermaids who can sing, and they lure men to their death.
Basically,
And that's it.
And
Fuck them.
I'll be honest though, if you
Supposed to be
shit.
super beautiful creatures,
Yeah.
and they lure men.
That's how I know that something's wrong, bro. I'm in the middle of the ocean. The fuck is something beautiful coming out the water for? How can you trust something like
they're
that?
creepy looking. I'll be honest.
And
They're
the
very,
whole-
very,
and singing to
very
you?
creepy
Fuck
looking.
that.
And-
Some of them actually have, they have them as mermaids. Some have them. Some statues of sirens are made of angels.
If I remember correctly, in the Odyssey, Odysseus tells his crew to stick cotton into their ears so they aren't hypnotized by the sound, which lures men to their death. It's like, haha, got you, bitch. I got cotton swabs. You ain't getting my crew, and then they just sailed on past them.
I like that.
Yes.
All right, so the next monster
Stick Q-tips in your ears.
is called the terrible dogfish. That sounds terrifying. I mean, terrible dogfish, and from the pictures of it, it looks terrifying. Also,
No, this is also mythological, or this is.
no, this is also a mythological creature.
Okay.
Who appears in it's a book, The Adventures of Pinocchio.
Oh, dear God.
What?
Now we're bringing Disney in on this.
What? You guys don't
Next.
remember Monstro?
No. That was a fucking whale.
Now, in the
It was-
movie, it's the whale. In the original Pinocchio story by Enrico Menzanetti, I think I pronounced that correctly. It is the terrible dogfish.
Yeah. It is.
So it's a fictional.
It also has it's I mean, granted, it's
So it's
been
not
a
even.
lot.
So this is literally just what someone created.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's nothing mythical about that.
it is mythical.
What you mean, bro?
We don't know if something like this
That
exists.
motherfucker was lit and created some shit and
It
wrote
is
it
a
in a book.
giant whale.
It is part of literacy. It's It's literature. It's like Cthulhu. Like Cthulhu was a giant sea god from a different planet who lived at the bottom of the ocean. You have to get to a certain island when the moon is just right, and it's not real. It has no basis in mythology. It is a literary thing.
So the next one I have,
I fucking hate you.
Yeah. So
the next one I have is called the bishop fish.
Oh.
The bishop fish
Now, was this also created?
No, this one
created
is
by an author.
was a type of sea monster reported in the 16th century.
Okay, so at least we have some history with this.
According to legend, it was taken to the king of Poland, who wished to keep it. It was also shown to a group of Catholic bishops.
I'm sorry.
To whom?
Hold on, wait. Let's picture this. You are the king of an entire country, and you got told of a giant, terrible sea creature, and your first thought is, I want it.
It's my pet.
I want that. I'm gonna build a giant tank.
It's
And I
Poland,
want
not
it.
Italy.
Oh, it's Poland?
Yeah, the king of Poland.
Yeah, no wonder he fucking wanted it.
Anywho, so he wished to keep it. It was also shown to a group of
Shout out to
Catholic
Poland.
to a group of Catholic bishops, to whom the bishop fish gestured, appealing to be released. They granted its wish, at which point it made the sign of the cross and disappeared into the ocean.
Oh, it's a holy fish.
Excuse me.
Dad
Hold
does
up.
not look happy.
He
right
does
now.
not. No, Dad, you have to understand. The bishop fish works for the sea pope. You're just in the ocean like, I want all of the fish. We don't go near the surface of the water.
Wait, okay, hold on.
Because we don't want to be a lunch. We hear there's a Jesus fellow. He took a tour of the fish, made millions of them, fed an entire village. We don't want to be that fish. Don't want to go up there.
Okay.
I'm a the Pope fish.
You ready for this one? This is only
So just to go on with your sea joke, you know that the sea pope is definitely a clownfish, right?
You're a dick. This gets better for Anthony. Ready?
Uh-huh.
Another was supposedly captured in the ocean near Germany in 1531.
Here we go.
God.
It refused to eat and died after 3 days.
I don't want that.
It was described and pictured in the 4th volume of Conrad Gessner's famous Historia Animalium. I said that correctly. Wow.
Pope fish, sea bishop. We have. That's not bratwurst.
That's literally all I have on it.
Can
and
I
if
have
you
a
look at
pretzel?
it, if you look at it, you guys are seeing it. It's literally, yo, Eric, I'm not.
It looks
playing
like
with
it's a fucking condom on its head.
It looks like a man with a fish body. It looks like a pope.
The fact that you quoted and said it refused to eat, like
It
That's,
says he refused to eat and died after 3 days.
that sounds so German to me. It just sounds.
Will not take me alive.
It sounds obnoxiously German. Like, no, I don't think this is mine. No, thank you. Sea bishop, we have like all these different fish for you to try. No, thank you. I don't want it. No, nine. I deny all of this. This is not good.
Well,
Sea bishop.
so no.
So you have the German sea bishop, and you have the Poland sea bishop, and they both work for the sea pope.
Yo.
German sea biscuit.
so we're coming down to our last two.
Hold on.
Okay, I'll wait.
I'm the sea pope. I get to the last word. You had a mission to go to Germany.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
What say
You
you?
look like that teacher that is like, I'm waiting.
What say
I'm
you,
waiting.
German sea bishop? I don't think we should go to the surface. First of all, not a lot of water there. The sun's very hot. I saw someone walking around kicking up the dust. You know, it's not very nice. The scales should stay in the ocean.
Das is not good.
I think we should stay here. What say you, Sea Pope? I make a decree. We stay in the ocean. I'm the Sea Pope of the first.
And so they stayed in the ocean.
That's
The
only,
end.
That's the only two incidences that we have quote unquote record of.
Uh-huh, we should do.
Damn, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm the Sea Pope.
That shit went left real fucking quick.
I speak it
I
to
was not expecting the fucking
Okay.
sea.
I
the
speak it
sea-
to Neptune.
What's it called?
Hold
so,
on. Sea
no,
bishop.
so it's called a sea
It's
bishop.
called a sea bishop. Yes.
I speak it to Neptune.
I
He
gotta
tell
look
me
this up.
no
I'm
going
sorry,
to
I
the
gotta look this
surface.
up.
Okay.
Okay,
sea
we stay in the
bishop.
ocean,
Okay.
Sea Pope.
Okay. Let's wrap this up now. Ha ha ha! Funny.
Yeah, you
Let's
mad.
get to. I'm not mad. I want to, get to the
You
next.
know, there's a bunch of fish over there that I don't agree with. The gefilte, maybe we should do something about them.
You did not just go there. He did not just go there.
You know what? At this point in time, I resigned my headphones. You can mute my mic.
Anywho, silence.
I don't know what just happened, to be honest.
We're gonna go to the next one.
We're going to get canceled.
Everyone knows this one.
Do we?
Do we?
Yes,
we now?
Capricorns,
Okay, Capricorn.
which is actually a sea goat. The sea goat is a legendary aquatic animal described as a creature that is half goat, half fish.
Uh-huh.
The constellation Capricornus was commonly imagined as a type of sea goat. This has been done since the Bronze Age of Mesopotamia. Then the Babylonians used whatever the fuck, the goat fish, to symbolize the god Enki.
Oh, okay. So it represents a god.
Yes.
I think ancient Babylonia, you say?
Ancient Babylonian and Mesopotamia.
I'm
So
sorry.
some asshole kicked a goat in the river and be like, look, it's a god.
I'm sorry. Is this really what it is?
Yes.
Oh, that's the sea biscuit. I mean, the
That's
sea bishop,
sea
yeah.
biscuit.
Nah.
It looks like he's wearing a pope hat, doesn't he? He looks like... It should have been just
Yo.
called the sea pope because...
Yo, why does it look like that? Look at this shit.
Dad just... I think Dad just had an aneurysm. I've never seen his face twist so fast before in my fucking life.
I swear, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna lie. I punched in She Bishop, and I look in Google Images, and I'm like, nah, bro, something about this isn't right. Like, this is part of a game right now.
He looks
You
like
fucking with me. You
Doesn't
feel
he
me?
look like Imperfect Cell?
You're fucked up.
Yo.
All right, so the sea goat, ladies and gentlemen, the sea goat.
Now you're gonna the visual now. When you go back and listen to this episode, you're gonna see the sea bishop in your head, and it's gonna match the voice, and it just got even better, didn't it?
That's exactly why I got better, because I just remembered everything you just said, and I saw this, and I'm like, nah, there's
We're
no
fucked
way
here.
this is
I'm
what they
so
were talking about.
Eric, I'm so happy Dad wasn't drinking anything. You would have gotten fucking showered, bro.
We're so fucked right now. It's crazy.
Let's go, Joey.
This went
Yeah,
off
and
the
our
rails.
last one.
Let's go.
Our
This
last
went
one
off
is
the rails real quick.
Our last one is actually very, very interesting to me, because one, it is a spirit, technically, if you the Japanese lore, and we all know how much how fucked up Japanese lore can be.
Yeah. Japanese has some. Sorry.
If I'm correct, if I'm saying this correctly, this is pronounced umibozu, umibazu.
Something like that.
I did take 1 year of Japanese, which I failed horribly.
Yeah, he was there for 15 minutes.
Uminbazu?
Umibozu.
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 Google.
He did not just say.
I mean, it really is like, listen, Japan when it comes to like their mythology has some of the most terrible, fucked up,
Scary. And
scary.
I like
That's what I mean.
scary.
I don't mean like terrible as in it's bad. I mean like terrible as in it's
Like, ooh, that's
terrifying.
scary.
All
Yeah,
right,
their
so
mythology is all fucked up. Ghosts
little-
and demons and shit. My
little
God.
is known of the origin of the umibuzu, but it is a sea spirit and as such has multiple sightings throughout Japan. Normally, umibuzu appears to sailors on calm seas, which quickly turn tumultuous. It either breaks the ship on emergence or demands a bucket or barrel from the sailors and proceeds to drown them. The only safe way to escape in umibuzu is to give it a bottomless barrel and sail away while it is confused.
Is holding. The fuck is this? Paddle faster,
Yes.
quickly before it asks us
Wait.
questions.
So, in other words, they're pretty much saying you're never going to get rid of it, because where the fuck are you going to find a bottomless barrel?
Yeah, so like, it might be one of those weird traditions. I don't know. You can look it up. Like
Like,
Japanese
just
sailors.
listening to that, I'm like, where's this? Where?
It's terrifying. If you look at the pictures of it, there's some
so don't
have
piss
it as
don't
a-
piss it off, is what it's saying.
yeah,
yeah,
pretty much.
I mean, some has it as it looks like a fish with like demon whiskers and stuff. Looks
Big
like a giant
fucking
fucking
eyes.
catfish.
No, it
Some
looks
of
like a giant seal.
yeah, it looks like a seal and a catfish had a kid.
Yeah.
A cat seal. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But others, like more depiction of it, it actually looks just like a ghost on the sea.
Just
Just
blackness,
a blackness
with eyes.
and that's terrifying to me.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know, like I said, we all know how weird and creepy the Japanese folklore can get.
Yeah, I mean it's similar. It's not similar. The only thing I can think of that's in the same vein as this, like, would be the kappa, which I think is also Japanese, and it's like it's the same thing. It's a water demon, I think. It's kind of like the creature from the Black Lagoon. Kind of looks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, those right now are some mythological creatures that this one amazes me. This last one, anything that has to do with Japanese folklore, amazes me. The history behind Japan alone
Yeah, it's incredible.
is incredibly deep and weird, and I love it. But we're gonna take a short little break, and then we're gonna come back with some more creatures, and then we're gonna give our final
Real
stands.
ones, supposedly real ones this time that washed
Yes.
up on shore.
And we're going to give our final thoughts on this crazy, crazy episode. We will be right back. Welcome to Eric, you ready? ADHD in a podcast.
That's right.
No. Welcome back to Is This Real? As we get to our last segment, we're talking about something that Dad brought up. We were talking about deep sea creatures, and now we're talking. We talked about the deep sea mysterious monsters that ate some sharks, or sharks go missing. We talked about the mythos of some deep sea creatures,
Right.
and now we're going to talk about some pictures about some shit that has been washed up on shore that we can't explain.
Yeah.
It's kind of like weird because you got a group of different photos here that are just like really out there. I mean, you got one's called the East River Monster. It was found by the Brooklyn Bridge, I believe, in 2008. They don't know what it is. Unfortunately, the police decided to discard it before they could figure out what it is. Now, if you look at the thing, it looks like either a bloated dog that's been in the water for a long time, and and they find a human body that's been floating in the water. It's kind of bloated, and it kind of looks like that too. But it also looks like
These things look like deformed creatures.
it could be, but it also looks like they're trying to say it could be like a cooked pig that somebody threw overboard or whatever. But judging by the feet are not. The feet look like they have fingers on it, almost like a dog's foot.
Well, remember, if this thing is, say this is a shaved dog,
Right.
you're thinking of what like a dog's paw looks like when it's covered in fur.
Right.
Now imagine taking that fucking fur away from that paw.
Right.
It's going to look different. Like, have you ever seen a shaved bear?
No.
Google, like, just not now, but like Google images of a
Yeah, they
shaved bear.
kinda
They
look
are
fucking
fucking
weird.
terrifying.
Yeah.
They're unrecognizable without their fur. It looks like a giant rat with 4-inch claws.
Oh my god.
So it might be a dog. I mean, I'm not. I think you're
Look,
right.
I mean, if you, I don't know, but the snout though.
Well,
if
remember
you
the
look at
snout's
this-
been ripped away.
But there's I don't know. Those teeth don't look
See,
like dog teeth
it's
to me.
it's hard. They do look like dog teeth to me. They do. I mean, that's
You know
just
what's
what I mean.
kind of funny though? You said it was found near the Brooklyn Bridge, and the website that we're on, that's hosting this list, has an ad up that I can't get rid of. I can't click away. It's for the Brooklyn Nets. So it just says 10 years in Brooklyn, East River Monster right underneath it. We're not sponsored by anything on this fucking website.
No, we're not.
Now, another one we have is an unknown whale species, a young biology teacher. I'm going to read this to you and see if it makes any sense to you. When a young biology teacher came across this animal carcass in St. George, Alaska in June 2014, He initially believed it to be the corpse of a Baird's-beaked whale. However, upon closer inspection, a 24-foot, 7.3 meters long body looked different to the usual specimens. The dorsal fin was too large and floppy, the flesh too dark, although it was too short to be an adult. After all these scientists looked at it, they just couldn't come up. They couldn't figure out what it was. NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, the Science Center said they have no idea. It's a rare find, and they're not sure what it is.
I mean, looking at it, it definitely like that eye definitely just says like it reminds me of a dolphin or a whale.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Could this be like an animal that was just born differently?
Could be.
You know what I mean? It's it's mutated or it's just deformed.
But 24 feet though.
That looks like Monstro.
Could it be like the Quasimodo of like fish or like whales? You know what I mean? Like some just.
I mean, it does look like a dolphin. I'll be honest. It looks like a really pale dolphin.
I mean, I'm also looking at like its head. Like I don't, I don't see the rest of its
dolphin was
body.
born without a chromosome or something like that.
Something like that. Who knows?
The next one on our list is called the Blue Dragon, and it really is.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful, but they're deadly as hell. I mean,
Looks scary.
It comes off the. They're found in Queensland, Australia.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Everything in fucking Australia is trying to kill you.
And it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Tempting as it
Crikey.
may be, you definitely wouldn't want to hold one of these alien-like creatures. Despite growing up to only 3 centimeters, 1.2 inches in length, they produce a powerful sting from their wing-like appendages that is said to be extremely painful for anyone unlucky enough to come in contact with it. In fact, they are so venomous that they are fully capable of killing other poisonous sea creatures, such as the much-feared Portuguese man-o'-war, which incidentally is another of its preferred delicacies.
Jesus Christ.
So damn, that thing eats
Yeah, and it really is
poisonous things.
I don't know.
That thing
too
must
many.
grow like that.
I would love to have this in my fish tank. It would be beautiful. You know?
Yeah. It definitely when it like alien is the best name for it.
Yeah. The next one up on our list here would be the Lake Macquarie creature. The terrifying carcass was washed up in Lake Macquarie in New South Wales, Australia again. In March of 16. A tourist by the name of Ethan Tipper was understandably perplexed when he came across this mysterious creature. So posted photos to the internet to see if anyone would be able to figure out what it was. No one has figured out what it was.
You know who could have?
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin. Let's go and fucking touch it.
Well, unfortunately, he's no longer with us.
Look how angry it is. I'm going to stick my finger up its ass.
It looks like a scary crocodile-dolphin hybrid. Fish expert Mark McGruther identified it as a pike eel. This is the first time I've ever seen one of them in the flesh. I suspect it was caught and discarded by fishermen who got more than they bargained for when they tried to reel this sucker in.
Crikey, what the fuck is that? And then they just threw it the fuck out. I just Googled what a pike eel looks like, and I could I think he's on the money, because it looks like a giant worm, but the head is very like crocodilian. Yeah, it looks like a crocodile. So
Crikey.
it's just a giant pike eel. Like, doesn't look like they grow that big, but
And
this fucker is.
Here's one. I
Looks
mean,
like a
I'm going to go
crikey.
down to number 7 here.
It looks like a crikey.
You guys are crazy. It's called the Panama sea creature.
I've heard of this
Okay,
fucking thing.
while the Panama creature wasn't found on the beach, it's worthy of inclusion in this list purely for the creepy factor. It was found on a riverbed near the town of Cerro Azul, Panama, in September of '09 by a group of teenage boys who claimed to have killed it with rocks after being scared it would attack them. After they sent photos of the creature to the Panamanian TV station, the locals in the town grew fearful that a band of mysterious and possibly dangerous animals were roaming the area. The photo went viral online. People didn't know what it was. And if you look at the friggin' thing, it looks like a.
Someone beat the shit out of ET.
No, it looks
Yeah.
like something laying on its back. Yeah, with with
It
a
looks
head-
like someone beat the shit out of ET.
it's really it's a strange.
ET foam home. No, ET gonna get these hands.
Like, its head is what's fucking me up, because the body looks like somebody who is
Thin.
somebody like someone who's suffering from like MS.
Yeah, I mean, it
Or
looks
like
like it
it's-
has nipples and
Nipples?
Well, they look like nipples to me.
It might be like it looks like
You
someone.
just want to see a titty and everything.
It
don't
looks
you?
like a monster that's sunning itself, except these kids from Panama beat the shit out of it and killed it.
Shout out to them. Shout out to them.
These hands are extraterrestrial.
They're rated E for everyone.
They're rated E for
here's-
extraterrestrial.
Here's a nun that's really. Here's a nun. I'll be all right. Here's another one that's pretty.
Which
Weird.
one is this?
Are you talking about the mammoth shark?
No, I'm talking about the number 4, the conjoined whale carcass.
Excuse me.
Oh no!
Conjoined whale calves. Okay, researchers
All right,
in
well-
Baja California, Mexico, came across a rather surprising find in January 14, a pair of conjoined gray whale calves. Sadly, they were already dead. Due to their size, it is believed that they probably didn't make it to full term. Instead, they were likely to have been naturally aborted between 8.5 and 10.5 months.
Okay.
A gray whale's gestation period is 13.5
I had a
months.
bad thought in my head.
Local researchers didn't spot the mother of the pair, so it's unclear whether or not she survived as well.
She probably flushed it out and then it washed on shore.
Yeah, it's very, very strange, these things. I
Is
mean,
that blood in its eyes?
That's probably because some seabird pecked at the eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, conjoined twins are like it's a
Yeah.
phenomenon that happens. But if you're ever having a bad day, just remember of the 2 conjoined twins who share an asshole, and one of them is gay, and his date's
No.
coming over that night.
Please stop.
Okay.
What's the next one, Dad?
That
Next
guy's
one,
having a
I got
bad
3
day.
left to this list
Nightmare
here.
of an episode.
What the hell is that?
It's the Bonfil Beach Globster.
Globster.
Just the name alone is like worthy of
I
inclusion
can't
on
make
this
heads
list.
or tails of what this thing. It
Yeah.
looks like.
It does look like a cum shot.
It looks like a sandy cum shot.
I'm being dead honest with you.
It does.
In March of 16, a mysterious carcass was discovered floating close to the shore by beachgoers in Bonfil Beach in Acapulco, Mexico.
Acapulco.
Measuring in at a huge 13 feet long, the giant corpse was thought to have been brought to the shore thanks to strong currents that were affecting the area at the time. The creature, if I can find my thing here,
My God.
the animal was obviously in a state of decay, yet curiously
Obviously.
did not have a strong
Duh.
odor, which would normally be associated with a decomposing creature. A lady by the name of Rosa Camacho, coordinator of the Civil Guard and Fire Brigade, said, "We have no idea what type of animal this is, but I do know that it does not smell bad or have a fetid aroma,
That means someone had to put their nose into it.
Okay, the type of animal remains a mystery, though. After the photos were posted online, many people have speculated about what it could or could not be, with giant squid or whale being popular suggestions.
I'm
So-
looking at other pictures of it. I can't even. I feel like I'm
There's
having
no
a stroke
head. There's no head.
because I can't discern any recognizable features of this fucking thing. Like I can't it could be a squid. How could it be anything? It looks like a pile of like paper mache.
No, you know what it looks like to me? Now again, it looks like seafoam hardened.
Yeah, it just looks like
That's
like
what
paste.
it looks like to me. Like glue.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
very strange.
What do you got next, old man?
The Villela. Believe it or not, this picture isn't photoshopped. It's a huge shoal of blue jellyfish-like creatures known as the Villela that have washed ashore.
So nice, had to say it twice.
There have been several incidences worldwide of these mysterious sea-dwelling animals washing up in shockingly large numbers, including a beach in South Wales in the UK in 2004. It's thought that stormy weather is likely to be the cause of the stunning events, as the creatures, which are classed as a colonial hydroid, show in huge numbers, sometimes in the millions. It's
Fuck that.
according to Steve Moon, an ecologist with Brigaden Council, said the South Wales event, this thing does happen occasionally. It doesn't happen every year, but you can normally expect them after a long series of stormy weather. So, they have some kind of a clockwork on it when it does and does not appear, but that's a lot of jellyfish, man.
Yeah, I'm just looking at pictures of like up close pictures of them, and they are weird. They look like blue nipples.
Yeah, it's strange. I wouldn't really want to go walking through that.
No, neither would I.
Okay, number 1 on our list here is the Zuyo Maru carcass on April 15th, 1977. Hold on here. A Japanese trawler ship sailing in New Zealand discovered a strange corpse floating close to the shore, measuring around 10 meters long. The carcass apparently had 4 large red fins and 2-meter-long tail. Although the ship's crew were convinced that they had discovered a new animal, the captain made the decision to dump it back in the water so not to spoil their catch.
Fuck that. He chose and he said, fuck that.
See, the man was all business.
Yeah, we have shit to do.
Unbelievable.
Fuck that.
You ever? It's like that idea of like, that's not my business. It costs you exactly $0 to mind your
own
business. He
Yeah.
said, "Put that thing back where it came from.
To give
we
credit.
have shit to take care
It's
of."
just like from the what was Monsters Inc. Put the thing back where it came from.
To give proper credit, most of these photos are from the Huffington Post, National Geographic, the Daily Mail, and Wikipedia independent photos.
Did you just turn around and say Huffington?
Yeah, I did. Huffington Post. I'm very tired at this point. Anyway,
Wait, tired in general?
it
Just tired of us on the
It just
show?
goes to show you, and it shows me as well, with something as vast as our oceans, anything is possible at this point. We don't know.
Like,
and
I
like you said
it's
earlier,
80% unexplained,
Right.
explored.
unexplored, all of it. So we
Unmapped.
don't know
On
what
everything.
yeah, it's
is out
crazy.
there.
It's crazy to think that someday, we can't. We're worried about looking into space and seeing what's out there, and and it rightly so, because it's knowledge, and we're humans
who
want to
knows?
know as much as they want. But you got stuff in your own backyard we don't know anything
Well,
about.
I mean, who knows also, too? I mean, we're seeing these things wash up on sea now. Especially when you talk about these things that have washed up on sea. How many years of us dumping shit into the ocean that could change,
Oh, sure.
mutate fish,
Sure.
stuff like that, and we think, oh my God, these are new things.
Look,
They're
I
just
mean-
fish that have mutated because of our own pollution.
I mean, look at the Passaic River in our own backyard here. I mean, it was a beautiful river, and that dumps into the Atlantic Ocean right down there by Staten Island. So, and this has got to be one of the most polluted rivers in the country. And especially at the mouth over there. There's I forgot what the chemical that they were finding in there for years. So yeah, I definitely would say that if you had something deformed, it'd be kind of like people near a nuclear bomb. Their offsprings are gonna be deformed somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
So who
Alright, so-
knows? We don't.
So what
again, we
we're
don't
gonna
know.
do now is there's a little thing. We like to ask questions. Not really. There's a couple questions we could ask. Obviously, we're all in agreement that there's some weird shit in our ocean.
Some weird shit there.
Yes.
Yes, but it's hard to form the question about like what we think is there, because obviously, again, we've only discovered 20% of it. Do you think though?
Explored 20. Yeah.
Well, explored, discovered, same shit.
Not really, but go ahead.
Do you think that because the shit that washed up on shore compared to the shit we talked about in the first part, not talking about the mythological shit, do you think some of these creatures are those mythological creatures that we've talked about?
Are you asking me?
Well, I'm asking.
I
a
don't
general
agree with that
question.
at all. To me, the mythological creatures, I think, is exactly what Anthony said. Somebody saw something and their mind.
So you're
did-
telling me that you agree
Whale
with Anthony that it's mostly just whale cock?
No, I don't know about that, but I'm just saying that again, primitive man coming up with primitive stories.
To explain things, they have no idea what they're
Exactly.
No,
looking
I
at.
understand that, but obviously we've seen some fucking pictures here that we don't even know.
Well, cock.
Shut up, or your mic will get muted again.
I-
Shush. Hold on, I'm not done talking.
The nigga said, I got the pens.
Daddy.
Anywho, as we're looking at these pictures that we can't explain, if we sit there and still, in 20, 30, 40 years, still can't explain what the fuck these pictures are, with the science technology that we have,
Right.
do these pictures become the next generation's mythological creatures?
No.
No, they're not mythological. They're right in front of you. They're there.
Yeah.
They were found.
Like myth has I guess inspiration from truth and from misunderstanding, and of course a way to explain things you don't understand. But these are animals that I think just go down in history as like 50 years from now, even 1,000 years from now, when we get to the point where we can just think of something and it pops up in our hand. Science is that advanced, we're exploring space. They'll always be able to file.
That
where you-
happens now. You ever see the Pizza Hut commercials?
There'll be a file that you could just download and be like, oh yeah, that was a creature that appeared 1,000 years ago. We don't know what the fuck it was. There's no way of proving what it was. It was just a weird thing, and who knows what that weird thing is. Could it have been a species that human had never seen that got dragged up from some deep part of the ocean? It could have been that. Could have been a mutation of some sort. Could have been an animal that was born deformed. There's so many possible answers it could be, but I can't sit there and go, yeah, that's what a kraken was. That's a leviathan, or that's what a siren is. Until you pull up a fucking mermaid skeleton and we can verify that that's an actual thing that lived.
Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
especially with 80% undiscovered.
I agree with you. We don't know what's there, but I don't think it's going to be a real mermaid. Like, people thought
The real
this is
aliens are down there.
this is a true thing, that one of the possible births of the legend of the mermaid was from manatees, because manatees would be sunning themselves on a rock, and from a distance you would see this creature on a rock with a fin that flops back into the water. Now, how that image came to be fucking mermaids, I can't explain.
The dehydration and scurvy.
Could be, but like that's a true thing. Like early accounts for mermaids is because pirates and people out at sea saw fucking manatees
And scurvy.
and scurvy. That's true. Yep, scurvy.
All right, so
So
I
no.
guso Dad, you say no. Anthony, you say no.
No,
Wes?
it's not. It's not myth. No.
What's the question again?
Do you think some of these creatures that we've looked at, that have washed up on shore, could be mythological creatures? Was that your answer? Just
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. See what I deal with here, people. Anywho.
Just to add a little side note to that too, you got creatures that are being seen, but not being seen today.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
Look,
You
we
know,
didn't talk
so
about the
we
Loch
don't
Ness
know.
monster.
We just don't know. The
Well,
Loch
On this
Ness
episode,
monster-
we didn't talk about the Loch
Well, you
Ness
got
monster.
that one. What's the one
Well,
up
that's
in
not even
St.
deep.
Joseph's?
That's not even.
up in
That's not even a deep
Lake
sea
Champlain
creature.
monster,
It's
too.
just-
Champlain,
that's-
yeah,
that's
Camp,
to
I
one
think it's
area.
called. So these are things that we don't know.
There's
And,
also.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, there's like I said before, it could be any explanation for it. And the other thing is, these animals aren't, if they are animals, they aren't being like properly dissected and studied.
Right.
It's like, oh, it's just that's a weird thing. Just fucking burn it, get rid of it, throw it back in the water, destroy it. We don't even we don't fuck around with things we don't know, and there's no money.
And I'm gonna write down what I saw.
Like, I'm sure there's a scientist who would love to be like, they found a creature, I got to study it. That's great. But unless he's being funded by an organization who will let him run the test and the study, what is he
CIA.
going to do except stare at the fucking thing?
Exactly.
Although I do believe in the Sea Pope.
The Sea Pope.
Anyway,
The Sea
we
Pope.
wrap this up here.
Yes. So next week, Anthony, what are
Go
we
on,
talking
my
about?
children. You may go home.
Here we go.
Sorry.
Next week, I believe what we're talking about is I think I have the website up. Again, go to greenhourmedia.org. You can see what we're talking about. Next week, we're talking about black hole universe. guys.
Yes. Yes.
The black hole universe.
Theories about how how the universe came. There's a theory that we are the product of what happens when something goes into a black hole. We don't know.
That's
cool
that's
shit.
going to be a very interesting episode.
I thought we were
Yeah.
just in a multi-dimensional. Never mind.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, anywho, we will see you guys next week with our black hole episode.
Oh my.
Why? Why do you have to take shit there like that?
Just remember,
Yes. Go to
Remember our accomplish.
greenhourmedia.org. We do have the merch page up now.
Yep.
Our merch page is up and running.
We actually
Lot
have
of cool
two
stuff.
merch pages up.
Yes, we have two merch pages.
We have Etsy and we have Spreadshop.
yes,
So we have
the
two
Etsy
merch
one's going to be
pages.
down soon. We're going over to eBay, but and that's going
that'll
to be
up.
that stuff is going to be stuff that we
eBay.
do in house. So we give you a little bit of a discount on that. So come on over and these tumblers are really really good, man. They've kept my drink cold the entire show. It is lunatic asylum we're doing here.
And just so everyone knows, we're also now 2 weeks away from starting our Halloween episodes, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun shit.
I'm very excited about starting our Halloween episodes.
Yeah, spooky
So,
time.
from all of us here at Is This Real? At Green Hour Media, from Green Hour Media, say goodnight, gentlemen.
Good night, everybody, and let's go Mets.
Adios, motherfuckers.
Oyatsumi?
Thank you, Eric. Good night, guys. Remember, question everything. We'll see you guys next week.
Konnichiwa, bitches. It's Ryu West speaking. If you want to find out more about the Is This Real podcast, follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/isthisrealpc, or on Twitter at isthisrealpc, or on Instagram at isthisrealpodcast, all one word.